Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new edition of the Daily Debate. In tonight's show, we're going to be focusing on the government's embarking on a new slate of development manifested in the smart cities being established and the projects being established here in Egypt. And joining us here tonight in the studio to shed more light on this issue is Dr. Hibatullah Qaoud, the Professor of Management Sciences at Nantes University in France, specialized in innovation and entrepreneurship. We're also joined by Dr. Ali Masoud, the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Political Science at Beni Suef University. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
My pleasure.
Before we start our discussion, ladies and gentlemen, let's take this phone call regarding the Egypt under-19 handball team winning the World Championship that was held in Morocco. And joining us now over the phone to shed more light on this very glorious event by Major General Ahmed Nasser, the sports analyst from Morocco right now. Major General Nasser, can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, how are you?
Very well, sir. Major General Nasser, now this is quite an achievement by the under-19 handball Egyptian national team. Today they met President Sisi and they were honored by the merit of the first grade of honor by the President. How much do you rate such an achievement for the handball sports, the sport of handball and Egypt in general?
Well, the matter of fact, it is historical victory. It is good history for the youth as the juniors as well. Juniors were just recording the third place for the world as well, with a great surprise and great winning, opening up the door, and now the youth also winning the world title. First of all, I would like, in my capacity as the president of the African Association of a Sports Confederation, who is happened to be in charge of all the sports in Africa, congratulate Arab Republic of Egypt, congratulate the African Handball Federation, congratulate the Egyptian Handball Federation for this wonderful achievement for Africa and for Egypt. It is a matter of fact the first time ever that Arab team to take the first place of the world. It is, of course, a very good work. Congratulations to the Handball Federation of Egypt that they did a very good job. Also, I would like to say something very important regarding this, that the Handball Federation is not working on their own. They are working also supported by the government through the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and also supported by the Olympic Committee. So we have to give everybody the right for that. Of course, the award has been, they have been awarded today with the Merit Award from President Sisi. It is, of course, it was dream of each and every one of them, definitely, to be awarded from the President. Yes. And the President, by awarding our youth, is giving a message that he's always behind the youth in the country. Not only, of course, in the sport, but also, as we have seen in so many, the summits of the youth and so on and so forth. And in every occasion, there is a proof that the Egyptian youth are one of the best ever, and they can deliver when they really have the opportunity. Yes.
Major General Nasser, now the President awarded them the merit of honor for the first degree. Now this tournament that was held in Macedonia and the World Championship in handball will be held in Egypt in 2021. Now, how does such an achievement pave the way for the handball team actually performing well, maybe winning the World Cup for Egypt once again in 2021?
Well, this is, of course, needs a very good preparation, as they have done this preparation with this team, the youth team. And I am sure that the Handball Federation is already put their strategic plan to do this. And what I like about it, that they were not depending on exact board of directors. So the board of directors was changed and twice or 3 times until this moment. So I think the plan was going and implemented and proceeded very well with the different board of directors, which is something really gives a role model and prototype for that you are not depending on people, you're depending on strategic plans, you're depending on a good plan, you really, this is a good example of the Handball Federation. It's a good example to give that these people are planning and whoever is coming can be able to proceed. So I think that's good. Concerning to your question or your hope or your ambitious as we would like to have, maybe, yes, of course, if we work very hard once more, it is not easy to win once more, but it might be a good competitive spirit to be able to try to be there, because now you win, but you have to keep winning. How? Much more difficult that you win for the first time.
Yes. Major General Nasser, now this great news is very much welcomed by the Egyptians, especially after the disappointment in football in the African Cup of Nations recently. Do you feel that, or is there any chance of such a success and these sort of victories can spill over other sports, not just football, but other sports as well? Can we take it as an example for other sports to follow?
Well, as a matter of fact, there is some good sports already have reached the world and they win the world. But we're talking about a team competition. The team competition was very, very difficult to try to win, because you always have obstacles, you always have not ready, you always don't have the whether the financial support or the kind of right training in the right place, changing the schools of training, like with some other, like the Far East or the United States or the Europeans. You have to change and have a good experience with these teams to be able to stand and fight in a world class. The world class needs a lot of checklist has got to be gone through, because if you can be able to checklist in the right way, you can be able to prepare your team. So you're not depending on luck, you're not depending on things like that. Right now, you're talking to me, I'm in Morocco, and we are in the All-African Games, which started the opening ceremony yesterday, and Egypt here is one of the biggest delegations, if it is not the biggest. Dr. Ashraf Subhi was here and attended some, and he has to go back, of course, for the award of the handball. And the team is doing very well, of course. Egypt is leading so far the overall with 6 gold medals. And I hope that we will continue like that. The last time Egypt was the winner, whether for the youth or for the senior African Games. The African Games here is doing very, very, very well. It is very well classed. They upgrade the level of the quality of organization with Moroccans, as Egypt higher the quality at the African Cup of Finance for football, which is CAN. And I might have a different opinion that what you said, Hani, that Egyptians were expecting a lot from the football, of course, but expecting it doesn't mean that we have to win. We organized one of the best ever African Cup finals.
True.
Of course, with the testimony of FIFA President Gianni Infantino, was saying this is a world class. It is not an African class.
Yes.
I witness also that the All-African Games now start in a world class. Start to compete with the Pan American Games, competing with the European Games, and so on and so forth. And there is a lot of international federation presidents here and a lot of sports celebrities here, and it is wonderful. I mean, the thing is going very well. Egypt, I hope that Egypt will continue like that, because of course, we need them to be always champions. So, come back to your question. Yes, of course, it might be the handball might be the role model for the team competitions, and for the individual competitions, there is a lot of good achievements around. Yes, some of them reach the world class, but not the first place. But I think they will be in the way.
Yes, definitely, hopefully so, and best of luck to the Egyptians in Morocco. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Major General Ahmed Nasser, the sports analyst from Morocco. Thank you very much for joining us.